All right, we're gonna go and get started. I'm really excited that you guys are here. Just all that I ask is that you stay muted unless I ask you a question, and I ask that you keep your chats, keep your chats down, okay? Because we want to make sure that we're focused on what we're doing. I'm actually going to put a link in the chat for what I want you to go to. Okay, here we go. So go ahead and go to that Padlet, please. Because what we're doing today is we're going right down the Padlet. Have any of you used Padlet before? Okay. Do me a favor. When you have gotten on, and make sure I stay on, when you have gotten on this link, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that I know that you can see it. It's like colored, yeah? Here, I can share my screen with you guys and show you. Okay, I'll put it in the chat one more time since some of you are just now getting here because I know that you can't see that. Awesome. Man, you guys are fast. You're spoiling me now in 5th grade. I'm used to having the K1 too. This is awesome. Okay, so this is what it should look like for you. So in your class, you've been reading Esperanza Rising, right? Yes. And I don't know how far you are, probably not very far into it, but today we're going to talk about human rights. So on this Padlet that I gave you, we're going to go down kind of the essential questions, and we're going to read about another girl who had a lot to do with human rights that you might not have heard of. So I wanted to focus on that. And then your teachers wanted to focus on trying to find evidence that matches the question that we're going to talk about. So the first question, and all you have to do is click in the box and then you can write on it. The first question is, what are human rights? Now there's been a lot on the news, and there's been a lot around us and in social media, so you can answer the question however you want. But just go ahead and see where it says add comments, and then you can write your comment in there. What are human rights?
What site are we on?
Let me put it in the chat one more time. Okay, there you go. Oh, good. I see some comments coming up. Human rights are something everyone has if you don't want your human rights threatened. And you can go ahead and answer the next question too. How are they threatened? And you can read other people's as well, but don't read the article yet, okay? We're going to read that together. These are very good answers. I can tell that you guys have been thinking about this. Does anybody want to share what they're writing or what their thoughts are as they're writing this? Go ahead. Is it Emery? I want to make sure I say your name right. Okay, Emery, do you want to share?
I haven't posted it yet, but I'm gonna write it's human rights are threatened when you're being patronized for whatever you are. If you're white or black and you get someone offends you because you're a certain color, or if you're a certain gender or something, and they tell you that you're not good enough or that you can't do something just because you're that.
Good. So basically saying that people don't like you just because of who you are. Is that what you're saying? And it could be because of your religion, your color of your skin, right? What you believe. Good. Does anybody else want to share what they put or kind of what they're thinking? Victoria. And please correct me if I say your name wrong.
You said it right.
Okay.
I said, what? People can be threatened by other people or people being racist to one another.
Good. Does anybody else want to share? I know that this can be a really difficult topic, especially now as things are going on in the news and on social media about things that are happening around us. Camilla, did you want to share? Go ahead.
So for what are human rights, I wrote, human rights are in the freedoms of a human. Human rights, every human has human rights. They have the right to travel, own things, and the way human rights can be threatened is like everybody has the right to own things. So if you take something from someone, you have to have a good reason to do that. You can't just bother them.
That's good. So Esperanza, someone tell me in the chat or by raising your hand, what are some human rights that Esperanza had threatened? Like what was threatened with her? Esther. Her house got burned down. Good. Safety. Yep. That's good. Man, you guys are on top of it. I love teaching 5th graders. Okay, well, we're going to talk about someone who you may or may not have heard of. Have you heard of Claudette Colvin? No. Have you heard of Rosa Parks? Yes. See, whenever we hear about human rights and we hear about the civil rights, our mind goes right to Rosa Parks. But I wanted to read an article with you today that was Claudette Colvin, and she had her rights threatened, and she is someone that did the exact same thing that Rosa Parks did. Now, I'm going to read it to you. You can follow along on your copy or just look at my screen. It's up to you. Teenager Claudette Colvin was arrested in 1955 for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white person. Sound familiar? Just like Rosa Parks. Her brave action came 9 months before Rosa. So I hope I was able to teach you something new about Claudette Colvin. I think she's very inspiring. She's 15. So if you look back at your Padlet, I see that some of you already started to do it. But what your teachers want you to focus on is says, how did Claudette defend her human rights? I'm back on the Padlet. Use evidence from the text. So you need to make sure you do not put it in your own words. You are copying it and pasting it from the text exactly to make sure that we get evidence that matches the question. Okay? Now, some of you, you're going to have the same answers, right? Because when we're looking for ways that she defended her human rights, there are few ways in the article. So go ahead and look through. I see some of you did it already. Look through the article that we just read for answers to that question and put them in the Padlet. You didn't have to, but I like those of you who actually went above and beyond and put the quotes, because that's what you do when you're putting evidence, and I didn't tell that to you. But it looks like you're doing a pretty good job. So when I see something that said she did not give up her seat, that is not actual textual evidence from the text. That's your answer. That's okay. But man, when you're looking down at these It looks like a lot of them are similar. These are really good. She didn't want to give up her bus seat. She was riding a bus. Some of you put that she got arrested. Good. So when you're citing evidence from the text, you need to make sure that your evidence matches the question exactly. So when you said she refused to let a white person take her seat, good. She refused to get up. Yes, a lot of you are saying the exact right thing. You guys are pros at this. I'm really impressed. Saying that she refused, that she had paid her money and she had a right to sit there. So the lesson learned from today is make sure that you put it in quotes, right? And I know I didn't tell you that. Some of you did, which is great. That's showing that it's from the text. And that you also say exactly doesn't match the question. How did she defend her human rights? I see a lot of the right answers. Good job. Just make sure you're putting it directly from the text and that you're not just summarizing in your own words. I also like how a lot of you continue with the I wonder what questions do you still have about her? What was she thinking? Didn't she inspire Rosa? Ooh, that's a good question. Is she still alive? Did anybody get a chance to look that up? I thought I saw someone that did, that looked that up. Is she still alive? She's 81 years old. Actually, I have a couple minutes. Hang on. I have something to show you. Let me see if I can get there really, really fast. Okay. If you go to, let me share my screen with you. Okay, so I made this for you guys, Stories of Human Rights. And I added, let's see if it'll let me. I added a video about Claudette Colvin. Civil rights pioneer Claudette Colvin.
The 4th grade or something.
So if you watch this video, it's really cool. It's an interview with her. Oh, though it's not gonna let me because I'm not logged in. I have to be logged in. But it's really cool because it's a video. Somebody's videoing her when she was older. Rosa Parks was older than her, much older, which is why they decided to use her. But this video is a lot more recent, and it shows her like talking to the camera and why she did it. It's a very neat video. It actually made me tear up a little bit. But you should watch it. But you guys did a really good job today. I just want to show you one